What's happening, everybody? It's Anthony from The Daily Truth. The truth in 5 minutes or less. I think we're getting close to like 80 or 90 of these. I got to look to see what number we're at. Anyways, like this video, share this video, do all things with this video. Jump in. I'm going to let a couple people jump on. Hope you guys are going to be here for this message. First off, it's a thank you to everybody for sending prayers last week when I was going through the Speakoff and trying to make it to the next round. It was a very cool experience. The final three speakers were phenomenal. The ones that won, final five actually won. They got to hang out with Grant and the whole team, and they earned it. But the great thing about this event, I learned a lot. I learned where my gaps are, and I think all of you guys know I'm a pretty darn good speaker. I've emceed events that I know most of the people in the room have no idea about or how big they might be. So my ability to speak, my quality of speaking is fantastic, but the ability to translate my story into something that's moving and powerful, I realized was missing. When it went from 130 people, we had the way that it worked is we had 5 different rooms ranging from a minute speech, 2-minute speech, another 2-minute speech with a coach, I had 45 seconds, and then there was an interview, and then also some side questions. And I guarantee you I know kind of where I made a mistake. I talked a little bit about that last Friday. But my biggest mistake, because I was surprised I didn't make the top 30. I'll be honest, I gave myself like a 70% chance. And I out of the top 30 chose, and I think that I could have been in one of those. Was I top 10 or top 14 material? I don't know if I was. I don't think I was. Because seeing them, they were great. And I realized where my blind spots are. And I think maybe anybody can take some of this stuff with them. So ultimately, I want to give the why to last week, and exactly like, everybody was following and everybody was sending me comments and sending me these side messages and talking and putting prayers in the comments. So I want to give you guys the full update. I think that's important for me to do. So what I realized is that my message, which I call myself the failure expert in my talk, I talk about my dad's compulsive gambling. I talk about my book, the Art of Doubling Down, and how it's about overcoming failure. But in a 1 minute or in a 2-minute span, it's so difficult to actually put the two together. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean overcome failure? How are you using your dad's gambling? What does this negative progression mean? And it's disjointed. So what I learned, and I guess the truth is for everybody, is when you have an opportunity that doesn't go as the way that you, of course, want it to, is to try to learn as many lessons as possible. And that's what I talk about when I talk about overcoming failure. The way that you overcome failure better than other people is by analyzing the failures that you make. Don't dwell in them, then don't sulk in them, but don't ignore them either. Like I could just leave this week and be like, well, I should have made the top 10. I should have made the top 30. Absolutely not. I knew right in the moment that's not my personality as is, but I realized that my message that I'm trying to change the world with, if I think that I can change the world, my message needs to be absolutely crystal clear, and my message lacks clarity. If I can't explain to somebody in 1 minute how to tie overcoming failure to my father's gambling addiction, to the concept of doubling down, then guess what? I'm not doing my job, and my message isn't clear enough yet. So ultimately, the great thing that I could take from this last week and the lessons that I learned is that I need to hone in on my clarity. When I go in front of a bunch of high school kids, or with becoming the better you with Brenda, if I do that, or if I'm speaking, if I get hired to do a specific event on my own, or all these different opportunities I have, I better be able to absolutely hammer that message. My story is good, but guess what? There's a million stories that are, when I say good, I mean tough, but there's a million stories out there that are more difficult, that have required more overcoming, that have required more triumph. So the key is actually being able to translate in a short period of time why it's so important to learn how to overcome failure and change your mindset. That's what I got that's the gift that I got from this weekend, on top of an amazing amount, a new Rolodex that I can't even dream of, some of the best speakers in the country, and how talented and incredibly talented that room was. So that's what I learned, and I'm going to continue to work on my message. I know I can speak, but until the moment that I can really truly put my story and my message to give it the impact that it needs in order to change the world, I have to keep pushing. And if anybody asks if I'll ever get to that top point, I won't. The message is going to keep evolving and improving. That's today's Daily Truth in 5 minutes or less, guys. God bless. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sending prayers last week. And I will, of course, see you another day. And the truth will always set you free. Take it easy. Don't surrender your pets. Pets are